We all kind of know that amazing feeling that comes when we do the right thing, when we feel resistance towards doing something, but we still do it because we know that it is the right thing. At the same time, we all know that feeling that comes when we feel resistance towards doing something that we actually want to do, but we don't do it. And have you ever asked yourself why it is the case that you feel amazing when doing something and you feel like shit when not doing it? And we will understand that in just a minute. But let me tell you something. You will never, ever, ever regret doing the harder thing. And let me tell you that you're hearing this from someone who can literally not count the times that he wanted to do something, felt resistance towards doing it. I knew that I wanted to do it, but I didn't do it. And all of those situations, all of them taught me one thing. They taught me that I should always take the harder path. But why is that the case? Why do we feel resistance towards doing it? Why do we feel amazing when doing it and like shit when we don't do what we feel is right? And most importantly, how can we actually do it? Because very often we know that we want to act in a specific way. We feel resistance. We know that we would still love to do it, but we end up not doing it. And so therefore we feel like shit. And all of that is explained when we understand that it is because we have inside of us kind of like two selves. You have your ideal self and your unwanted self. And we obviously all want to be like our ideal selves because it makes us feel amazing, and don't want to be like our unwanted self because that makes us feel like shit, right? And you have to know that the resistance that you feel towards being like your idea comes because those two selves are trying to survive inside of you. They are kind of like fighting. And the one that you feed the most is the one that will survive. And obviously, none of them want to die, especially your unwanted self. He doesn't want to die. And so the way that he's trying to survive is by creating resistance. And that is very simple because you have to know that you are feeding one or the other one through your actions, thoughts, and beliefs. And so if that unwanted self of yours is able to make you act in a way that is going to feed him and not your ideal one, then he will become stronger and stronger. And obviously he doesn't want to die. So when realizing that, I realized that I was the only one in control of what I actually did and who I actually was, bro. And that through my actions, beliefs, and thoughts, I was the only one deciding who I was going to become. Imagine, like, those two selves are literally fighting for survival inside of you. And the one that you feed is the one that you will be. It will become stronger and stronger and stronger. And when I realized that I just had to always feed my ideal. And I realized another very interesting thing, that the best sign to tell me that I was actually going to feed my ideal was resistance. That was the sign telling me that my unwanted self was trying to survive, was trying to not die, and that therefore I should always do what I feel resistance towards doing. That was literally the best sign for me to tell me that I was going to be more like my ideal self by doing that. And so it's actually very simple. It's just about staying aware. Step number one, staying aware, because you have to realize that you're actually feeling resistance towards doing something. That is actually step number two. So that you actually get to step number three, which is to understand and to remember that resistance that you feel is a sign telling you that you should do it, very simply because it is your unwanted self trying to not make you feed the ideal self. And therefore, by doing what you feel resistance towards doing, you will be feeding your ideal self. You will become more like your ideal self. Therefore, you should get to step number four, which is to act like it. And here I'm going to tell you a scene from my personal life. Just the other week, I got into the train, I sat down next to two beautiful girls, and I knew that I wanted to talk with them. But at the same time, normally when I'm in train, I read. And so was there, my mind was telling me, now it's not time to approach, now it's time to read, right? That was my unwanted self creating resistance and coming up with good arguments to not do it. And I was there doing as if I was reading and thinking about it, even though I was not reading and not thinking about anything about the book because I could not concentrate. I was there trying to argue with it, telling myself, no, but actually I want to talk with them. No, but now it's not time, blah, blah, blah. As soon as I realized that I was feeling resistance and I remembered the nature of that resistance, I closed the book, put it away, and started talking with them. And here I have a trick for you, because very often we know that we want to do it, but we end up somehow not doing it. And that is very simply because we start arguing with our inner self. with that unwanted self of ours. And the trick is very simply to not even get into an argument, to realize that you're just arguing with your unwanted self, wanting you to lose time and lose the opportunity that you just have. Because he knows exactly that in 10 minutes I will have to get out of the train, or maybe in 5 minutes the two girls will get out of the train, and so it wants you to waste time. At least that was the case for me. It wanted me to waste time so that it something happened and I don't have to approach anymore, right? I don't have to go through the pain anymore. So the best trick that I can give you is literally to be aware. Realize that you're feeling resistance. Remember that that resistance is just your unwanted self, and then without arguing with it, without starting to talk with it, act straight away, bro, without thinking about what you will say, what you will do, how to do it. Act straight away. And it's amazing how well it works when you just don't listen to it anymore and just go. As soon as you feel resistance, just assign to go. Just assign to go. Bam, bam, bam. You will do one thing after the other one, and you will see that you will not only feel amazing every single time you do it, because you feel amazing. Because even though I didn't read for 5 minutes, I was there in conversation with them. I felt amazing because I knew that I did the right thing. And not only by doing those things towards which you feel resistance and always take the harder path, you will become more and more and more and more like your ideal self. And that is, I think, the best thing. Anyways, I really hope that this video helped you out. Let me know if you have some other tricks to always take the hardest path. And I really wish you a lot of double downs, a lot of hard paths, and see you in the next video, bro.